everybody knows what a law is, right? You got to do it or, prison. But we're going to talk now about how a law is made, what happens, what's the process. It starts at election time, or before election time, but kind of at election time, because each party will stand up and say, if you vote for us, we will charge for missed NHS appointments. If you don't turn up for a GP appointment, then we're going to charge you some money. That's the law we're going to make. And then another party might stand up and say, oh, we're gonna make everyone use public transport if they're traveling less than 20 miles or something like that. I don't know. And then at the election, everyone votes and they choose between the different sets of priorities and different sets of laws. And they go, oh, I'm going to vote for that one, right? After the election, one of those parties wins. Let's say it's the party who are going to charge for missed NHS appointments. You voted for them. The country voted for them. They said they were going to do that, so now they have to do that. The first thing they might do is say, oh, I don't know how we're going to do that. And they'd write down some ideas and they'd throw them out to the country. That's called a green paper, right? A green paper. It's a consultation. They ask, what do you think? If you want to get involved with this, you probably have to go to their own websites because they don't tell you very well. They're not very good at publicising these consultations, but they're there anyway. Public consultation, green paper, bang, out it goes. Next stage. They get the consultation back and they read through what you've all said. They write, oh, okay, we've got a plan now. I've got a policy document. I've got an outline of exactly what I'm going to do. Here it is. And that is called a white paper. Just fun fact, in Parliament, if you're picking up a green paper in Parliament, it is made of green paper. Like just the border is green. There you go. Did you enjoy that fact? I hope you did. Now, green paper and white paper stages are optional. In fact, it's quite rare these days that you get both of them. You might get one or the other or none. And in this case, about missed NHS appointments, they probably know what that looks like. So they might go straight into Parliament. Now, there's three parts of Parliament. There's the House of Commons, the House of Lords, and the King. Those are our three parts of Parliament. And they boss the place, right? The government, the party with the most MPs, the Prime Minister, then brings this bill, brings this new law into Parliament. It can start in the House of Lords, but a lot of them just start in the Commons. The Lords get the less controversial ones. Basically, if it's a really dull bill, it might start in the Lords. But this one is going to start in the Commons, and it starts off with its first reading. The Minister gets ready to announce the brand new bill. And what they do is they say, the missed NHS appointments brackets fines bill. And that's it. That's the end. That's the whole thing. That's the whole thing. There's no debate, there's no chat. But at that point, the text of the bill is released to everybody and everyone can go and see, everyone can go on the website. In Parliament, you can go and pick it up, a physical copy, all this stuff. You then get a couple of weeks, 10 days, 2 weeks, that kind of thing, before the second reading debate. And this is where it all goes off. Because at the second reading, MPs get their first chance to question and look and probe and discuss and do all of these things. No changes can be made. This is just a very, very, very general chat about the principles of the bill. And it can get quite heated, but then they have a vote. And this vote, the second reading vote, matters more possibly than any other stage of Parliament. If MPs agree with the principles of the bill, and that is this vote, the end of the second reading debate, it's going to happen. There might be changes, there might be tinkering and all that, we'll get into that in a second, but if MPs say, yes, we agree with this bill, it's on, it's going to happen. But they've got to make sure it's right, and they've got to make sure it's all good. So the next stage is called the committee stage, and between 10 and 50 MPs form a committee. They go away from the green benches and they go into a committee room. They go through the bill line by line, suggesting changes, debating changes, and seeing what might make it better. The government, the party with the most MPs, the Prime Minister's party, the government have more people in there than everybody else. So on this one, an amendment might be tabled, a change might be suggested for the House of Commons committee stage, and it could say for this NHS bill, rather than it being illegal to miss appointments, maybe we could say if you miss 3 appointments, you have a fine. Just make it a little bit softer. And that might be an amendment for someone else. But then the first part was like, no, because then people would still miss 2 appointments, and that's clogging up our NHS and our GPs, and you can't get an appointment, you can't get a dentist appointment. We need to charge for these missed appointments. And the other side like, no, but 3 would be better. And they're like, no, because they've got the most MPs. So unless they agree to a change, the change isn't happening. Once they've done all that, the committee come back into the House of Commons, and it's called the report stage. And the report stage is where they literally report back the changes they've made, and all the other MPs who weren't in the committee then get a chance to suggest their own changes. And that's all fine and dandy. All the votes happen. Again, the parties with the most MPs get to really dictate things. But lots of debate and changes is discussed. And then at the end of the report stage, boom, that bill is locked. The third reading is the last stage, don't worry. The third reading is kind of a general debate, again, a bit like the second reading, but this time with all the changes baked in. Can't change it third reading. So our bill, unchanged from the House of Commons, where we're going to charge people a fine if they missed NHS appointments, that goes from the House of Commons over to the House of Lords. And if it starts in the Lords, it'll go over to the House of Commons. In the House of Lords, they do a really similar process. So you have the first reading, then the second reading, general principles, can't change it. But then the committee stage isn't just a few of them over in a room. Committee stage is the whole chamber of the House of Lords. And anyone who wants to get involved can come and get involved. As long as you remember the House of Lords, not like you. So they turn up and they spend a long time suggesting changes and looking at changes and being really meticulous and careful and thoughtful. And here the government don't have the most votes, or don't always. There are plenty of times when the government does not have more votes than anybody else. So changes can be made. And at this point, they might insert that 3 missed appointments. And then, rather than the fine, because some people don't have much money, you just have to clean the windows of the NHS place to make it look all nice and lovely. So the changes in the House of Lords, they vote through those changes. They're like, we need, in their committee stage, in their 6 days of the committee stage, in the chamber of the House of Lords, not in some little room, the chamber of the House of Lords, they can make those 2 changes. And then it goes into the report stage. More people can come and have another chat about it if they want to. And then it goes to the third reading. The House of Commons, the third reading, the bill is locked. And the House of Lords, they're way more chilled than that. They're like, no, the bill's not locked. You want to make more changes? We'll make more changes. And then that's done. The Lords vote through. They vote yes to this bill. But the bill they voted yes to is a different bill. It's a different law. It's a different idea to what the House of Commons has voted yes to. Because they made these 2 changes about window washing and about 3 strikes and you're out. It goes back to the House of Commons, and the House of Commons sits and discusses the change the House of Lords have made. Normally what happens is they say, I don't like it. So if they take out the changes, or unless they agree with the changes, the bill then goes back to the House of Lords. And the House of Lords then has a choice. Do we insist on one of the changes we've made? Or do we go, okay, we've asked the House of Commons to look again, they've looked again. On this occasion, they might say the window washing's a bit silly, but it does need to be 3 strikes and you're out. So they get rid of that one, but they keep this 3 strikes and you're out change. And so it goes back to the House of Commons. They call this ping pong. And you'll find MPs who think it's hilarious that it's called ping pong. They think that's how they're going to talk to young people about politics. They go, and then it's called ping pong. Yeah. House of Commons take a look and they say, no, it can't be 3 strikes and you're out because that ruins the point of it. So they take it out and send it back to the Lords. Normally, the House of Lords at this point says, you are the democratically elected chamber. We are just the House of Lords. So if that's what you want, we'll agree to it. and they will sign it off too, and they'll say yes to it. They can delay it for up to a year. I mean, and the House of Commons can, if they want, tell the House of Lords to go away using something called the Parliament Act and whatever. But generally speaking, the House of Lords can stick to its guns 2 or even 3 times. But after that, they'll be like, okay, we've made our point here. And the democratically elected people say they don't like it. The House of Commons has said yes, the House of Lords has said yes, they've agreed on the same bill, but there's 3 parts of Parliament, Commons, Lords and the King, and so now the bill goes off to the King, and the King signs it, and that's when it gets something called Royal Assent, and it's there, and it's done, and suddenly you have to pay if you missed an NHS appointment. That's law, and it's come all the way from an idea someone had that they said at the election, all the way through the whole process into actually being law. And that can be quite a quick process, especially if they skip the white paper and the green paper stage. It can happen in a few months. Or if there's a lengthy green paper consultation, it can be a couple of years. It really depends. But it's a fascinating process, and it's designed to be that complicated. It's designed to make every piece of legislation we pass as good as possible. Does it work? It's not for me to judge, really, is it? Now, I've got to go because I've got an NHS dentist appointment and I'm going to miss it.